Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast that wouldn't die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool will give up a chance for a 30% discount.
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
What's up?
This week, we're discussing the Dario Argento classic opera, starring some people who look vaguely familiar, some people who don't. Daria Nicolodi is in this, and it's important because the English-speaking voice you hear is actually her actual voice, which I don't think we've ever heard before in any other movie she did.
I didn't even skip a beat. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
it's like deeper and huskier for some reason. So it's
because
good
she's
to
a
notice.
sex bomb. What do you want?
She's a sex bomb. So there you have it. Each week on the podcast that wouldn't die, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's the latest? What you been up to?
Dude, so I got back from Norway and then went on a spending spree where I think I dropped a G. So, dude.
You have a G to drop?
Dude, I had prepaid for my whole trip, so all my tax returns were sitting there. So I bought a fancy coffee maker like I had in Norway and a Coach purse and then I went to an estate sale and spent like $300. So now I'm trying to resell all this shit that I bought.
Why?
So I can be like a magnet. Because I got a good price. Most of it was like $1. And I got all stoked because like I got this camera for $1 that was broken. And I sold it for $55. And then I bought a bunch of flash cubes and sold it to a store in New York for like $200. It cost me like $30. So after I made $200, I was like on a fever. So I was posting like 4 things a day, 5 things a day. Haven't sold anything in a week. So I got to post everything else, and then I need to take a hard look. Also, eBay's kind of a scam. Have you ever sold anything on eBay?
I have. How's it a scam?
They take quite the chunk. I feel like that should have been like told to me before I posted it.
They
Apparently
take a chunk.
To do your research.
And what you also realize is if you hang on a second. Yes, now I'm recording.
Kick her ass! Kick her ass!
Well, I thought it was going to be a 2-second thing drop off, but it's not that you're doing stuff. It's just a lot of crashing and
bang, 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 bang. Now your children hate you. Can't wait to get out of this fucking place.
Pretty much. So what you also realize is that people will kind of add their own shipping. Like they can choose any number they want for the shipping. And that's kind of like a tricky way to like increase the cost, which you're not paying attention to. Oh, this is $12. Yeah, with $30 shipping that you're not going to notice until you hit the purchase button.
Now, eBay calculates the shipping using AI. I didn't even have to weigh it. Based on what this is, it should weigh this and shipping should be this.
Correct, but you don't have to go with what they say.
No.
They will, if you let them, since now we're doing an ad for eBay, if you let them, they will like print up a shipping label and you don't have to do anything. which makes it a lot easier. But if you're trying to do the trickaroo, then you
Right.
say like I'm disregarding what you're telling me, eBay, and I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to go rogue on this one. So be
Well,
aware.
because if you do go directly to the post office, where you can also print a label,
Mm.
but you got to weigh it and measure it, you save like $3. So basically, so with shipping, my item was $202. eBay took $27.
Oh yeah, yeah. They ain't
I
doing this
was
for
like,
free.
what? That's why my new plan is Facebook Marketplace, unless it's super niche.
Well, what is Facebook Marketplace's deal? I mean, I'm sure they take a cut too, right?
They did have not taken a cut so far, and I do the items that I've sold. It's either local pickup with cash, or the stuff I have shipped. They paid through PayPal. I said, "Here's my PayPal."
Fair enough. Fair enough
So
indeed.
it depends. I'm sure they'll slap something on you if you get too successful. So this is my new plan. It goes the marketplace first, and if and nobody bites, then I'll throw it on eBay, because as long as I'm getting more than what I paid for it, whatever.
Fair. Fair, fair, fair. No,
That's
I've
my
had
thing.
stuff on there. Typically, when I use eBay, I'm just trying to sell it. I'm pricing it to move. Is kind of my attitude. I'm not trying to, make money on the deal. I'm just trying to get some stuff out of the house where I'm not throwing it in the garbage.
Mm.
And literally, I got a message saying, I've bid $5 for this item. Can you combine it with with another order that I'm going to make? And blah blah. And I just told them, I don't
I
know how
don't
to
know how
do
to do that.
that, and I'm charging you $5. So I literally said I don't have the time or the inclination to find out how. Just to be
And then
thankful.
they disappeared.
No, they bought it, but then they left me a rotten review. He literally said, I don't care enough to find out how to do that. I'm like, I charged you $5. Okay. I'm not
Dude,
anyway.
that's not how you'd be the worst Uber driver. That's not how you get that 5-star rating.
That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it.
So
Anywho,
I have got to. So now I have a multiple tier approach. Good stuff is getting posted first, followed by crappier stuff bundled together, followed by a big box that's in my garage where I'm just going to put on the Bakersfield Free Group and say, it is on my front porch. Please haul it away.
you do not want to invite people to your house. That's
Dude, I
mistake
just
number
drag
one.
it out to the curb and I close my blinds.
With the words free stamped on the box. I
No,
get
no,
you.
there's a Bakersfield like free group where you just post a picture and they're like, it's sitting on the curb. We'll post when it's gone. Boom.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Take all of it. Don't leave any fucking things behind.
Let's reel it
Must
back
take
in.
all.
Must right. Don't be digging through the
But
box.
all started because I'm drinking from my Star Trek 3 stock list, and on the cup is like his coffin on the back, and I don't even know who these other two people are next to Spock.
Okay, the guy on the left is Charles Bronson.
Oh God, that's a terrible looking Charles Bronson.
It's not Charles Bronson, Aaron. I was being facetious. That would be
I
funny.
mean, now that you say that, I'm like, maybe it is.
And that's
I don't
David
know who
Cassidy
these
on the
mother
right.
effers are. Okay, but I went up as I was telling my brother earlier. I went up to the lady because there was 200 of these. There was box after box after box of the exact same cup, and I said, "Where are the Wrath of Khan?" And she's like, "I don't know." You're like saying words to me like I had a stroke.
She's like, I only like Search for Spock, if you must know.
Search for Spock's where it's at. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Absolutely, it's not. Let's reel it back in, shall we, Aaron? Give us your
Opera.
30 second
So
synopsis.
before we go into opera, have you
Please.
ever seen an opera?
I do not believe I've seen an actual opera. I've seen like operettas and things like that.
You
But
saw Gilbert and Sullivan. You saw Les
I think I
Miserables.
saw like the Mikado or something like that. But no,
Gilbert and
I've never.
Sullivan.
Yeah, right. I've never seen an actual opera.
I've seen two. I saw Madame Butterfly when I was in Italy, and I just saw Tosca when I was in Norway. And I've been obsessed. I've always wanted to see the Magic Flute after my repeated watching of Amadeus, of course.
Amadeus.
So in June this year, LA Opera is going to do it. So I was like, okay, opening night, I can go to that before I fly to Italy. Holy shit, opera be expensive in LA. Good seats are like $400. But at the same time, I don't want to sit in the back row of the third tier. That's what with opera glasses or a microscope, but I don't know. So I'm having to ponder that.
I'm not doing that.
It is opening night.
I'm not sitting there for 3 hours hearing somebody caterwaul in Italian. I'm out.
Okay, first of all, since it's Mozart, that would be German.
German.
But it's always translated. Like when I was in Italy, it had the words in Italian. No, when I was in Italy, above the stage in Italian and in English were the words. Okay. When I was in Norway, on the seats in front of you, you could choose Norse or English, and it would just give you the whole rundown.
Oh shit! Well, there you go. I'm in then.
But I mean, Magic Flute sounds fun. It's all whimsical and stuff.
Fair enough.
So anyway, this is an opera. It's not none of the operas we've just discussed. What was it? Do you remember what the opera was? I do. Oh, it's Macbeth.
Macbeth, which they never say Shakespeare's Macbeth. They say Verdi's Macbeth, which I find fascinating.
That's right.
Go ahead.
They don't call it the Scottish Scottish play.
Right.
Because it is cursed. They double down on it's cursed.
It is.
But I have to say, I would go to this with the fucking ravens flying around stage. That looked kind of post-apocalyptic. It looked fantastic at the end. I was like, damn, this looks good.
So hit us. What's the synopsis?
All right. So of course, there's an opera called Macbeth. And there are ravens flying everywhere. Well, the prima donna is not very friendly and not very cool. And she gets into a car accident and is out. So this is like that Seinfeld episode where the understudy takes over. Except there's also a freaky dude who we find out was getting busy with the understudy's mama in some kind of sex games.
So convoluted and bizarre.
It's so convoluted and bizarre. So there's sex games. The thing that stands out is he keeps killing people who are close to her or friends with her, and uses crazy needles to keep her eye open. But clearly she's blinking the whole time, and she has to watch. It was Clockwork Orange with needles. La la la. Everything's fine. The dude's dead, or is he?
100%. He goes to prison.
It's a very complicated way to escape. So I don't know. Is there an opera part 2?
One can only hope. Had you ever seen this before?
I had not, but I went to that Dario Argento exhibition in Torino, and they had a whole display with like ravens everywhere. It was very cool.
I saw this for the first time earlier this year. Actually, Joe Bob did like the 100th anniversary of the Phantom of the Opera. So the first movie showed the original silent film Phantom of the Opera, and then the second movie was Opera by Dario Argento, which I guess is supposed to be vaguely inspired.
It's kind of a Phantom of the Opera. I mean, Phantom of the Opera, Phantom of the Paradise. I don't know. Did you see they're redoing Phantom of the Paradise? I think it's going to be released on Broadway.
Who's doing that?
It's happening.
Some kind of a psychopath?
It's happening. I think they're taking it to Broadway.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I will never go. No.
And of course, the chick from that was our star from Suspiria.
Correct. What's her name? Harper.
No.
Harper Valley
PTA.
You're right. I don't remember. Jennifer Harper? Something like, I don't remember what her name
Jennifer
is.
Warren?
Jennifer Warren. There's like, look, let's be honest. There is 70s Argento, and then there's 80s Argento, and there's a little slippage there in my mind. What are your thoughts, just immediately?
I mean, I will have to say I still enjoyed it. I liked all the Raven gore. I
So
like the
stupid.
little needle stuff. It is ridiculous, but I found it entertaining. Also, it's a musical. I mean, I feel like they spent a shit ton of money on staging this thing.
Oh, there were definitely long, protracted scenes where our heroine is pretending to sing opera, and where I'm just like, oh god, her like she's like making weird faces as she's trying to sing. And I'm just like, oh, somebody
well,
pull
well,
the
the
curtain.
beauty is, as we know with Argento, you, she is also not speaking, nor is she singing. So everything she does is dubbed,
100%.
as with most of the cast.
Well, and that's the thing. It's the Italian method, the way they
Right.
used to do it, and maybe they still do it. I don't know. Where literally, because there's one actor in this who's actually an American actor who went on to be in a few things. He's the young assistant stage manager Stefano, who invites her back to his fancy loft and is promptly murdered. Like the first dude who gets murdered,
Oh,
essentially.
okay.
He's American. And
Oh, wait. The guy, and he can't close the deal, and he's in the mansion. That guy?
yes, yes, that dude. Uh, he he literally went and saw this opening night and was appalled because they redubbed him with like a British voice for some reason. He's just like, what the
He's
hell?
like, I'm already speaking English, god damn it. They're like, nah, not good enough.
Not good enough. And he literally said, I should have known the fact that there was never a boom mic in any of the scenes that
Near
I was
me.
acting. Right. Because literally they'll just be doing their thing and there'll be carpenters in the back sawing and hammering nails. And this drives when American directors go to Italy to film, it drives them insane. I think it was Richard Donner talked about being in Europe filming The Omen, and he would just lose his mind because he's trying to like film these scenes with with boom mics and things, and there's little Italian carpenters. He's like, would you shut the hell up? God damn it. Yeah, it's a whole
Speaking
different
of
kettle of
which, I
fish.
don't think we've ever done The Omen. That's a classic.
Yes, we have, in fact.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sweet Jesus. Why don't we
Sweet
jump
Jesus.
right in to the highlights? Aaron, what do you got?
Number one highway. The number one, we always got to go for the death scenes
Mm.
in Argento. And this is not a death scene, but the taping of the needles under her eyes. So she can't, you must watch. You must watch. Classic.
It's so
Beautiful.
stupid.
She's putting eye drops in her eye. My eyes are so sore. And not telling anyone that this is going on.
No, well, the only cop she meets and talks to is, spoiler alert, is the goddamn killer.
Is the
Right.
goddamn killer. Yeah.
Right?
And he's not unattractive. Unlike the Phantom of the Opera, who's usually all kind of effed up, attractive fella.
Right. So his motivations, I guess, in the end, because there are these bizarre, unmotivated flashbacks that are not really explained until later. I guess we're supposed to think that he was in some kind of weird relationship with the young ingenue's mother, who looked just like her, I guess, and would only.
And the beauty is he has not aged in this whole time. In
Correct.
20 years. He is exactly the same.
Correct. Well, I think we're supposed to think he was a younger man at the time, but he doesn't look that old now. So it's hard to know what the story is.
The same age as our heroine.
Correct.
So unless he was also 8, I'm not sure.
But what is it? It's like basically the mom makes him torture and kill women so that then she'll give him some sex, but then she never does. Is that what it is?
She's a prick tease, as we used to say back in the 80s. So yeah, come on, baby, let's torture some women while I watch.
Yes.
And then when you come to get some, I'll be like, nah,
not good enough. Not good enough.
Nah, maybe next time.
And so that's why he's torturing the main character, because he doesn't kill her. He just like ties her up, forces her eyes to stay open with the crazy needle contraption, and then he murders someone right in front of them. over and over, and then
Sometimes
releases
her
them.
lovers, sometimes it's friends who are getting too close. Which why would they know since she hasn't told anybody?
Right. Well, at one point, the
She made
costume
an
designer.
anonymous phone call when her little
Oh yeah,
boyfriend, Richie Rich, gets murdered in front of her, and that's it.
correct. It's bizarre when the costume designer busts in and kind of hits the dude, the killer, in the head with like an iron or something, and seems
Yes!
to get the upper hand. Oh no, not so much. You're dead meat, Pilgrim. So,
Forget it. Forget it. Yeah.
but let me ask you this: they never show us the face of the original prima ballerina, right?
We only hear her voice.
We hear her voice. She is bitching and complaining because she's trying to sing as there's wild crows or whatever the frick cawing,
Shrieking.
and then flying and hitting her in the head. So she storms off, and it looks like she gets pushed in the street by a mob of people, shove her in the street in front of a car. Lucy and I were watching
think
it laughing.
it's a Galooly. I think it was a Tanya Harding setup. I think
was.
The Popo was involved in this.
Well, and are we maybe supposed to think that the prima ballerina is the murderer?
She's not a ballerina.
Or whatever the hell she is.
She's the prima donna.
Prima donna. Not prima ballerina. That's something else. Are we supposed to think she's the murderer? Is there a possibility that that's supposed to be something? Because we don't really see her.
I think that was weak. She makes a threat at the beginning, and you did a great job, you bitch, or something like that.
Well,
that's all we really hear about her.
Right. She off camera, she throws her drink at the TV because I guess she's watching the dailies on just regular of the opera on TV, and then sends her a bottle of an indeterminate liquid, but I think the costume designer sniffs and goes, "Oh, it's ginseng," that she sends her. It was
but they
so
pour
bizarre.
it down the drain. Why wouldn't you just? And then someone said it was perfume. I don't know. The whole thing of it arrived, and now we're going to pour it down the drain.
Well, they didn't know if it was acid or poison or what the story is, and it has nothing to do with it.
I would still keep it on a display just in case.
Just help yourself, and then we never see or hear from the prima donna again. Right? Yeah. She's gone. No, she's not part of the story anymore. But something happens. I like this part. Something on her first performance. She's doing her thing, and again, her face is contorted, and she's singing these notes or whatever. Yeah. And the killer, the faceless killer, goes into one of the balconies and is accosted by an usher saying, "You're not supposed to be here." He takes the usher, squishes his head on a coat rack, and then knocks some lighting literally down into the crowd, crashing down. People are horrified. And then they're like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll just continue where we left off."
Dude, that's ugly. So they just dragged them. It was still sparking as they pulled it back up. They're like, "Let's go. The play continues. The music
show
continues.
Must go on." It's basically what it is.
For all I know, no one ever found the dead body. It didn't seem like anybody ever looked. He's like hanging from a hook, the coat rack.
Never a callback. Never a discussion. A callback. Sweet Jesus.
They're like, "We don't want to sit over there. It's kind of stinky."
Like, who else gets killed? We talked about the young assistant stage manager gets killed in front of her. And kind of a long, upsetting, because a lot of the murders are really drawn out. Like, there's a lot of stabbing. "Ah, no, you're killing me! You're killing me! I'm still dying!" There's a lot of that going on. Then the assistant stage manager. And what was it? It was like the killer was there to steal the necklace. But the necklace, as he's murdering the costume designer, the necklace falls into her mouth. And he tries to reach into her mouth to get it. Can't get it. So I guess he takes some scissors and just goes inside.
Like cutting up a chicken.
We don't really see it, though. We don't see that part.
Thank God for that.
Praise
Small
be.
favors.
And that's the thing.
Praise me.
All this is happening while the woman's sitting there watching, screaming. because no one can hear how she's sitting there screaming. Aren't there supposed to be good acoustics in a theater? Not in this theater.
Not in the workroom, apparently.
No can do.
But once again, if we had told people this was going on, maybe, and she's obsessed with the whole thing. First, she has imposter syndrome.
Yes.
I'm not ready for this. 2, she's just obsessed with it's cursed. I'm like, no, maybe if you just call the police. How about that?
She does talk to the handsome young detective on occasion, and he's like, oh, there was just another murder, I gotta bounce and investigate. She's like, no, just stay with me. He's like, well, I'll send somebody up later. Hope that's cool. And that scene was took forever, where she's in her apartment, she's doing eye drops, which blind her of it. I don't know if she was dilating her pupils or something like that, so that when Detective Soavi shows up, she cannot see him. And we don't know who it is, which of course means we're supposed to think he's the killer. And she locks the door, and he's sitting there smoking and reading the paper. I'm like, you could have done this in the hallway, bro. I mean, if you're not actively, it's like if you're just chilling.
I feel like he should be in the same room with the bitch who's listening to fucking Madame Butterfly to relax. The death scene, that's so soothing to me.
Just blasting it. And later when there's a knock on the door, he doesn't even get up. He's like, look through the peephole. Make sure it's not a killer out there. I don't know. I can't be bothered. Just take a look.
Exactly. Shouldn't he be answering the effing door?
Absolutely. And it's Daria Nicolodi, and she's like, what is she? Her agent? Or something along those lines.
It's not exactly clear.
That scene was hilarious.
She's just the wife of the director who showed up.
No, and she was no longer with Dario Argento. They had broken up a couple years prior. And she almost didn't take the role. She was like, I'm not feeling it. Because this is kind of a smaller role for her. Usually she's one of the protagonists. And this one, she's just kind of, pops in for a little bit.
She gets a good death scene, though.
She does. That was probably the highlight of the movie. And watching it a second time, I found it hilarious because she's in there. Somebody's knocking on the door. Hey, it's the detective, and she's looking through the peephole, and the guy is like showing his ID, but kind of flashing the flashlight. Here it is. Look at that. Can't you see it? How about from this angle? Can you see it over here?
And then he waves a gun. He's like shaking it in front of the people. See, I'm a cop.
Right. See, here's a gun. Here's a gun. She's like, wait a minute. No, I recognize you. Show your face. Oh, no. And then it's click, shoots right through the peephole. Boom. And you see the bullet like shoot through the thing in slow motion. It was a good shot.
It was a classic Argento.
And that was the end of Daria Nicolodi. Very sad.
She could sit out the rest.
And then we also meet the weird little girl who crawls around.
Who lives in the crawl spaces. What the hell kind of crawl spaces are those?
They were big.
Oh my God. You could put like a small cow running through there. Why are they just open like that? They're like for when there was air conditioning? What does that even mean?
Right. Well, earlier in the movie, we see
they're like full-on doors from every apartment.
Yes, and they aren't normally. I'm not a carpenter or HVAC technician or anything like that, but usually you screw the vents in place. They're not just an opening where you can just reach in like a pantry. Oh, I'm just going to open this up and climb on in. How's that sound?
I mean, they're 2 feet tall by 4 feet wide, and they seem to latch from the inside, like from the tube work. Because literally you see the lady and the little girl lock it once they crawl inside. I was like, from the inside? Oh my God, this is like the rocker dudes under the stairs.
It is. It's the people under the stairs. And that was the thing. Earlier in the movie, you see kind of a shadowy figure peeking through the vent, and you think maybe that's the Phantom of the... No, it's just a weird kid from downstairs.
Who has the crazy prostitute mother. Yay!
That was great. So the little girl says, come up here, in that weird fake, like grown up doing a child's voice. Because again, it's all dubbed. Come up here! Come up here!
Me, my friend, I want you. That man was no good. Come here.
And she follows the little girl to her apartment. And her weird prostitute mother's like, just get the hell out of here. But there was a murder upstairs. I don't give a damn. Get
I don't
out
give
of
a
here.
shit. Get out. And then beat her
Okay,
daughter.
we'll call the cops after I leave.
I ain't calling nobody.
I'll call the cops on you. How about them apples? Sweet Jesus. Later in the movie, the director, Marco, with the crazy bleach blonde hair, is like, hey, I will help you. We'll come up with this weird plan. Because again, our version of Macbeth, we have nonstop crows just flying free, shitting up the place throughout the show.
I'm signing up for that. You tell me this shit's going on, I'm down for it.
I'm not doing that. And because earlier in the movie, the killer went into the costume shop, was cutting some shit up, and he messed with the crows a bit, right? I think he killed a couple of the crows, and I hate these damn crows. But as we all know, crows are the most intelligent of all birds and can identify faces, and they hold grudges.
And they hold grudges. They remember who's good to them and who's bad to them.
Absolutely.
So this was kind of funny and kind of ingenious. You use the crows in the middle of the opera. And backtrack a second.
Please.
They did one performance.
Yes.
And took 3 weeks off?
Yes.
Is that how it is? They just run one show every 3 weeks? Just weeks have gone by, and now's the second performance where they decide to catch the killer in the middle of it.
Well, and again, there are nonstop crows anyway. So you could have just done the regular performance. But no, what we're going to do is you're going to have our heroine and I guess the male lead of the opera. They're going to do a long song, singing some shit. And then in the middle of it, I'm going to have a wrecking ball go through the setting with a giant steel cage, drop it almost on the actors. They're jumping for cover at the last second.
With the Raven Wrangler trapped inside,
Correct.
Who kicks them out. He literally kicks the door open, starts kicking a Raven, and 90% of them don't move.
Correct.
It's just the one.
One Raven.
Dive-bombing the audience.
One Raven dive bombs the audience. And that's how we reveal who the killer was all along. It was the attractive detective dude whose name I cannot remember. And he's attacked by all the crows. And it's that thing, and we see this in Lucio Fulci movies, where it's a person stands perfectly still and a creature comes and kind of chews on him a little bit. It's like
it's plucked his eye, pluck it out. If thine eye offends thee, pluck it out.
100%.
And I watched this on Philo, and they barred the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I know what's happening, but all of a sudden the center of my screen is out of focus.
Yeah.
Bastards.
They pluck it out, and later in the same scene, you see two ravens kind of flop down in between the aisles or whatever. And there's I'm like, is that an eyeball literally laying on the ground?
Yes, it is. Also grayed out on Philo.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I'm not watching on Philo then. No can do. No can do. It picked up the eyeball. And in another amazing scene, the director goes to her dressing room and says, this plan was great. I knew it would work. We caught the kill, and suddenly the killer's there. As if by magic. He would have been in clear view of the director. But it's that thing where if the audience can't see that angle, then who knows what's going on over there? He just appears, magically appears, and suddenly he's 6 inches
away. His
away.
eye tore out.
Yep. And he's still up to his old shenanigans. And he bops the director on the head, takes the girl in there, tells all of his ridiculous, convoluted motivations, covers her eyes, and then burns down the place. And they find his corpse in the fire, and also horrible and ridiculous. Also horrible.
The worst getaway scene I've ever seen in my life. It's ridiculous.
Because the later reveal, that corpse in the middle of the conflagration was clearly just a mannequin. I'm like, how long did it take for you to figure that out? And how
No,
did he
it wasn't a
escape?
mannequin. It was somebody else.
No, it wasn't. I just
What?
watched.
They said it was a mannequin?
It was literally a stage mannequin. Like, I think they didn't say the words mannequin. They said like some costume thing. Like it was
Oh,
a
I
fake
thought it was
body.
a costume manager. I thought that's what they said. Okay, fine.
But again, she's trapped in the flames. Like literally, she's trying to get the keys out of the flame. Though she was nice enough to kind of throw on the floor next to his body 5 minutes before. She gets the key and the keys, and she can't even unlock the door with the
He
key,
breaks it off.
which
Breaks
is not
it
a
off
good
of the
move.
lock.
Where was he during this time? Was he hiding behind like a bookshelf or something while this is going on? Unclear.
Yeah, the secret door to the Bat Cave opened up and he slipped away.
100%. Very bizarre. Smash cut to they're in the Alps or something. The girl and the director, they're doing their thing, watching the news like, hey, that body was fake, by the way, on the news. It's like the international murder and flames at the opera. Hey, guess what? So that killer's still on the loose. And the director goes,
how many weeks for them to figure out that they just poked it with a stick and noticed there was no bones?
In Italy, they don't use coroners or medical professionals of any kind. They just go like, whatever. It's all good. When the killer does arrive a second time with his still crazy eye, and he proceeds to murder the director right in front of her, I was just like, whoa, you could have done something. Hit him on the head with a rock. I mean, she literally just stands there and watches him as he pulls out the knife dramatically and then promptly stabs the dude to death right in front of her.
I thought she had had some emotional flux and now she had become her mother. I'm still not sure that didn't happen.
Well, and I think that was supposed to be the original ending. The original ending was supposed to be, and you see her do this, where she says, I wanted you to win all along, killer. I am like my mother. I'm into this. Let's do this. That was supposed to be the ending. And people were like, this is the worst ending ever.
I thought that would have been a great ending if she would have been done and walked up to him and they embraced. That would have been the best.
And frankly, it made a hell of a lot of sense because the fact she just stood there for 10 minutes watching her direct her boyfriend get stabbed to death for 15 minutes.
Not overly upset at all.
Not overly upset. But then smash cut to she's hitting him now she's hitting him in the head with the rock. And
it's a little late for that, sweetie.
Day late and a dollar short. And then the Canadian Mounties swoop in and Crockett and Tubbs appear out of nowhere. I'm like, who the hell are these guys? Never seen them before. We've been following him for months. Oh, really? Well, couldn't you have done something 5 minutes ago? No, clearly not. They're like, are you cool? She's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then she's like, I'm really not like my mother at all. And then she lays on the floor. I love all living things. And she's crawling through the grass for 5 minutes. I'm like,
flowers.
What is this?
I'm like, she's going to pop the head off that lizard. She let a lizard go. I'm like, what the I think that was a tribute to Psycho, where he's like, I'm going to show him I couldn't hurt a fly.
That would make a hell of a lot of sense. Part of me wonders if it was just Dario being like, you won't let me do my crazy violent ending. I'm going to change it where now she's like a flower child. I love all living creatures on Earth, as she's rolling around in the grass while the detectives are staring at each other going like, do we need a straitjacket? What are we doing here? What is happening?
Well, we'll have to find out in part 2. The part 2 could be musical comedy. L'opera part 2.
Mo opera. Sweet Jesus. Well, anything else for opera before we move on?
There was some good stuff, you know. Of course, the green lighting in the apartment, that always makes it all crazy moody. He likes to use those just basic colors, so it looks like a comic book or something. It looks very cool. We already talked about the bullet through the brain. The crow eating the eye, and just I missed the goblin music, and this music was Brian Eno. That's kind of crazy. Why was it so shitty then?
These are important questions. No, that's the issue. It's like when the 70s turned into the 80s, they downplayed the Goblin because the Goblin is very 70s, and that's why we love
Mhm.
it. That's why we love it. So,
Yeah.
such is
This
life.
was like heavy metal. I was like, what the
There was that. There were those heavy metal moments for some reason. Shall we go
Yeah.
behind the scenes?
Let's go, brother.
Uh,
I
the
only have I
Go
only have
ahead.
one behind the scene thing.
Please hit me. What you got?
I read that the Ravens took like 3/4 of the budget.
And I heard most of them escaped as well.
Well, that's because they're so smart.
They're
Bye,
very smart.
Ravens.
Well, at one point, the Raven literally opens up the lock with his beak, right?
Dude,
It's like,
dude.
whoa!
There's like 1,000 TikToks on people who just feed ravens and the gifts the ravens bring them. I'm telling you, there are overlords. Maybe that whole thing that birds aren't real, maybe that's true. It's all government surveillance.
Well, here's what. Okay, according to star Urbano Barberini, it would take hours for everyone to recapture the crows after they were released in the opera house for filming. Around 140 crows were used, but only 60 were ever retrieved.
Go,
Sweet
little
Jesus.
crows. Go.
Do your thing. The idea of the pins under the eyes torture device came from a joke of Argento's. Argento said it would annoy him when people would look away during the scary scenes in his film. He would jokingly suggest taping pins under people's eyes so they couldn't look away from the film. It would later materials on the screen for this film.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Dario.
In the book Profondo Argento, Dario Argento cited star Christina Marcelach as the most difficult actress he ever worked with. This is the main character of the show. Was the most
Because
difficult.
why?
I don't know. She's a pain.
How come you didn't recommend this book for our book club?
Maybe we will next time. How about that?
Yeah.
Orion, the American distributor of the film, wanted Argento to cut the final scenes in the Swiss countryside from the film, but Argento refused. So there you go. Many mishaps on set, including the death of one of the actors, led director Dario Argento to believe that the Macbeth curse also struck during the making of this film. I don't know who died, so I wonder who died. Google it.
Yeah.
What else? The character of Marco, the horror director turned opera director, was based on Dario Argento himself.
Ah.
Well, I think they said that Dario was actually supposed to direct an opera for some Italian opera festival, and they stopped, they wouldn't let him, they canceled it because of his reputation.
Like, I can't use needles in the eyes.
Can't do it.
Leonard Warren, a baritone who collapsed and died on stage. Oh wait, no, this is something else.
When the cage fell on him, probably, I imagine.
No. Now they're just giving me a list of fucking people from the opera who've died, dead opera singers.
That's not what I want, for God's sakes. Let's see. During filming, Ian Charleson, who played Marco, the director, got into a minor car accident and was hospitalized for a week. After having some medical tests done, he was diagnosed as being HIV positive. And he died soon after the movie. So, very upsetting. He actually had done other things. He was in Chariots of Fire and other things of that nature.
It doesn't say who the actor was. It just said a minor actor, which is not very nice. If you die, you should know.
You should know, 100%. Vanessa Redgrave was attached to appear as Mara Chekova, the prima donna, but dropped out shortly before production began.
Come on, Vanessa.
Yeah. And then her role was reduced to a minor one.
Yeah.
And according to William McNamara, who played Stefano, she was hired for a week of work, but exited the film with full salary, having never been called to set. Not a bad deal if you can get it.
There you go.
Let's look at the cast and crew, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's see. The director and writer we know is Dario Argento. You know him from such things as The Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Yes.
Deep Red.
Yes.
Phenomena, which was another 80s Argento. That one stars Jennifer Connelly, if I remember correctly.
I don't
And
remember. I don't think I've seen it.
Tenebrae. Add to the
And
list.
Suspiria, Mother F. Come
Suspiria.
on.
Dark Glasses. You know, don't
Yeah,
you?
I do.
Let's see. Cast. Christina Marcelach, and I'm sure I'm butchering her name. She's from Spain. Marciach, maybe her name. Played Betty, the replacement for the opera. You know her from Every Time We Say Goodbye in 1986.
Every time we say
You
goodbye.
know, don't you?
That one.
Opera in 1987. She was in 12 episodes of the German TV series Schwarz greift ein in 1994.
Oh, how about that?
And she was in something called Adolescence in 1982. How about
Okay.
that?
How about that?
Ian Charleson played Marco, the director. You know him from such things as Chariots of Fire in 1981. He was in Gandhi in 1982.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he did some shit.
He's an Academy Award winning movie.
Absolutely. He was in Opera in 1987, and he was in 4 episodes of something called Codename Chiral. You know it, don't you?
Unfamiliar.
Let's see. We've got Urbano Barberini played Inspector Alan Santini, the killer. You know him from Casino Royale in 2006 with Daniel Craig.
I saw the original.
Tomeli. Now I have to go back and watch this. He was in Demons in 1985 playing George. I should watch that too. That's a good one. Or Demoni. Demoni is what it's called in Italy. He was in something called Gore in 1987 and Gore 2 in 1988. How about that?
Dude, I would be happy to be a Scream Queen. I think that's awesome.
100%. Daria Nicolodi played Mira. You know her from such things as Phenomena in 1985, Deep Red
and like every other Dario Argento movie.
Tenebrae in 1982, Suspiria in 1977. As a writer of Suspiria, I think that caused problems. She felt she never got enough credit for being one of the writers of Suspiria.
Boom.
William McNamara.
Did Aja ever appear in her parents' films?
I believe she appeared in Demoni 2, which Argento, I think, was a producer. I don't think she ever was directed. That may not be true. I think she might have been directed by him, like in the early 90s.
All
right. William McNamara played Stefano. You know him from Copycat in 1995. That was the Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter serial killer show.
I feel like I recognize that name. I feel like I've seen that.
He was in Stealing Home in 1988.
Did not see it, but I have heard of it.
He was in Amber Road in 2022, which I'm unfamiliar with.
Unfamiliar.
And he was in Surviving the Game in 1994. That was one of those Deadliest Game kind of movies, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
But that's neither here nor there. I think that's about it. Shall we look at the ratings?
Let's go.
Opera, currently on Rotten Tomatoes, 90%. Yeah. 90%.
See?
Do you know what the audience gave it?
The audience gave it 85.
80%. 80%.
There's interesting the critics gave it such a high rating.
That is crazy. The top critics, we've only got 2. Anton Bitel of Little White Lies says, opera is always heading backward to move forwards and ends bizarrely with its heroine crawling in joyous derangement amidst the primordial plants and critters of the natural world in an ultimate act of atavism. Does that help
What
you?
is atavism? You want to explain that to me?
I think atavism is like appreciation for the natural world, something like that. Google
that was
it.
a douchey use of that word.
I agree. Ed Gonzalez of Slant Magazine says Argento's opera is a film of rare beauty, a celebration of love's absence and the ferocious force of the gaze. 4 out of 4. Gaze, by the way, not gay people.
The male gaze.
The male gaze, correct. And the gaze, Gays. It could be both. It's unclear. Let's look at the review from our in-house movie critic. We're talking, of course, about Stepford Rex Reed. Here we go. This is what he has to say. Dario Argento's opera is like being trapped in a high-fashion fever dream where ravens have better acting instincts than half the cast, and that's before the killer starts duct taping needles to eyelids. So there you go. Thank you very much, AI Rex Reed.
Hey, concise, very concise.
Gets the job done. What do you think? What is your rating for?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's not Profondo Rosso or Suspiria, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it has a fairly lucid storyline that you can follow. It makes sense for the most part. Production values, they had a couple of pennies to scratch together on this one, so it was pretty cool. I'm gonna say 3.5. Go.
I thought it was okay. I didn't particularly care for the main actor or the main character, whichever the case may be. I don't know who's to blame. She was kind of just a cipher, just kind of wandering around screaming and pretending to sing. She kind of sucked. The killer's motivations were bizarre and I guess maybe it's my own fault because it's like I thought it was going to be more Phantom of the Opera-y, and he's just like the Phantom who sometimes attends the opera. Is that what it is, essentially? You know what I'm saying? I think it had some.
We only have evidence that he attended once.
Correct.
The rest of the time, he didn't seem to be paying attention because he was off busy murdering and dropping lights.
Well, it was almost like it was coincidental. Like he wasn't after because, and he had nothing to do with her becoming the prima Madonna. It was just an accident. The woman falls into the street. Had nothing to do with him, I guess. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to give it 3.0. 3.0 out of 5. It's fine. I would rather watch Tenebrae again. If I'm being honest, I think that's more fun.
We got a lot more Argento to get through, brother.
We do, and we're going to get there one day. So I would say it's fine. I would rather watch a different Argento if I had to choose, though. So there.
Oh no, that answer is just wrong. No,
that answer's just wrong.
Maybe you need to watch it again.
I watched it like 2 months ago.
I think you're missing some stuff.
It could be. Any last thoughts on opera, Aaron?
Enjoyed. That's all I can say. It had some good Argento death scenes and squishy things. The bullet through the peephole, the needle eyes. Solid.
Show me your face. Don't show me that gun. Show me. Ah,
dude, you knew there was no good.
Hey, look at
come
this.
To that. It was totally like a Fulci. I was waiting for like a slow stick to go slowly into her head.
There was eye damage, and there was typical Fulci eye damage in this. The Ravens helped out a little bit. Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, we could have used, this is the collab we could have used. It could have been the Argento Fulci collab with Tom Hanks. How about that?
With Tom Hanks.
Let's see it. Come up with something, fellas.
Anywho, thank you very much. Go to our pages across social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Threads. You can watch us on YouTube as we speak. You can also email us, the podcast that wouldn't die, at Gmail. You can also, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review, won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
I got the media. Of course, I manage our Ticker Talker account. I'm still getting messages from junior high students looking for Mr. Doherty, but he ain't there. Uh,
That is true.
I am on the gram. That's the best way to find me. Instagram, the cult of Aaron. Join the cult. I still have art on Artsy and First Dibs. Check it out. Make me rich.
Sounds good. Now, as you know, we like to include the thoughts and feelings of our friends across the internet. Aaron, what do you got?
Leonard McSmarty wrote to me on the Ticker Talk, and they appreciate that we're doing the old monster movies, the old Japanese. We did Destroy All Monsters, and they wants to know when we're going to do the War of the Gargantuas.
We have it on the list. We have
It
it
is
on the
on
list.
the
And we may do it within the next couple of weeks. Who's to say? Who's to say?
say. I don't know.
Unclear. Unclear. Well, thank you very much, Leonard McSmarty. Next week, we're going, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water once again, we're doing Jaws the Revenge, the fourth and final chapter in this god awful series. Good stuff.
I
Let's
have to
start.
make a complaint about Jaws because we all wanted to watch it over the 4th of July. It is like unavailable. I think it's only on like Apple or something now.
That's weird. And that's
I was
unacceptable.
unable to watch it even by paying for it.
Well, the good thing about Jaws the Revenge is you can see it on Netflix, Peacock for free if you have either of those subscription services. So check that out. Michael Caine is in this one, for God's sakes.
I love me some Michael King, but the problem is he's always down to clown.
He is
I'm surprised he
always,
wasn't in an Argento film.
no question. So check that out. Send in any favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show. So,
All right.
thank you very much, and be well.
Watch the 4th season of The Bear. It's amazing. Bye, kids.